Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. So in 1 hour's time, Tottenham will kick off against Sheffield United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Premier League. A win for Spurs today could put us up to 5th in the Premier League, in that Europa League spot. And of course, we need European football for next season. The team lineup is just about to be announced in the next 2 minutes. I've got Spurs fan Melvin with me all the way from Malta. Melvin, first of all, how are you? And do you expect Tottenham to win this game today?
We have to. It's probably one of the easiest fixtures that we have, in our run of fixtures. We must win today. Anything else is just, it's the end to the season. If we win today, it keeps us within reach, within a possibility. And anything other than 3 points would be disappointing today. It would be the end and the death of our season. It's been ups and downs, and we have to get 3 points. Sheffield, they're already relegated. They have nothing to lose, and I think we have enough quality to get the 3 points and get it over the line today.
Melvin, lots of score predictions are coming in now. One on screen now, 7-1. We've got a 4-0. We've got a 3-0. I've been saying 3-0 all week. Relegated Sheffield United. They've lost 26 Premier League games this season. Surely Tottenham have to, one, give us a reaction, particularly after losing that game last week in the fashion that we did as well in that cup final. And two, we've got to score some goals and we've got to turn it on today, haven't we?
Yeah, I'd like to see a strong lineup. Hopefully we get to see Gareth Bale till the end of the season more. To see if we're going to, renew his contract for another year or not. We have to see. We have to see him in every single game. We can't just rely on the minutes he's played. We need to see that he's bringing up his fitness, because those year and a half that he spent on the sideline with Real Madrid really affected him earlier in the season. And if he's coming up to speed with the game, and if he's capable of playing 90 minutes at the pace of the Premier League. So if I was Ryan Mason, if I was Daniel Levy on the board, you have to play Bale. We have to see what he can do till the end of the season. We have to play every single minute. Otherwise, we're not gonna. The only other way we can see what he can do is in the Euros, which it looks like he's going to play, for Wales. So if I was the board, I would see even all the aspects of the players. The players we want to keep, we need to see, what they can do, and the players that we're looking to move on, I would keep on the side, and these that's what these matches are for.
Melvin, can you believe though, with a win today, in this very, very weird, up and down season, a win today could put us up to 5th in the Premier League, in that Europa League spot?
Yeah, I think this year no one has really been very, very consistent. Neither have we. Most teams have dropped points, when other teams have dropped points, so have we, and vice versa. When we drop points, other people dropped as well. It's a shame that we're not in the top 4, but the horrible season we've had, a team like Liverpool, we're last year's champions, and they seemed like they were going to be, they're going to walk away with the league this year. And you can never predict these things in football. Football is such an unpredictable game, and probably people bet so much money that Liverpool were going to walk away with it, and it's funny, and now we're going to finish above them probably this season. It looks like, anyway.
Well, Melvin, the starting 11 has just been announced. Hugo Lloris in goal, obviously, and then we've got Serge Aurier at right back. We've got Sergio Reguilon at left back. We've got Toby Alderweireld and Eric Dyer in the centre. We've got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Giovanni Lo Celso, Dele Alli, Gareth Bale, Heung-min Son, and Harry Kane. What do you make of this starting 11?
Dele Alli, I'm happy with Dele. That's another guy we need to see with the same situation as Bale. We need to see him play. We need to see what he can do. We already know what he can do. If we can replicate it and improve on it game after game, it's what we need. We can't move these players on the way they are. If we go to get Dele Alli at the end of the season, we'll probably get £10 million for him. We can't sell him the way things are going. We have to play him. We have to see what he can do. And I think he's a quality player. I think Jose alienated him. I think he put him on the side. I think he put him down. He criticized him publicly, and the Amazon documentary did the same. And the guy is at his lowest. And I think with Jose leaving, Dele Alli probably has got a massive fire lit underneath him. and he'll probably score today. I'll be honest with you. He'll probably score today. He'll probably work so hard to score, and knowing Jose will be watching this game. It's against Sheffield United, who are bottom of the league. And we have enough quality to, if we get a couple of goals early, this could be 3-4-0 easy. But we have to get that first and second, vital that we get that second goal, because all season we get the first goal and relax. And then, the pressure comes on, and then we start to defend it. And then that's when we concede. It's important we get the, 2-goal cushion.
It's funny, Melvin, because every time on these videos I always say, if Spurs win today, we can do X, Y, and Z. And David rightly puts me in my place here. Come on, Chris, you know better than that. The moment we said, if we can, if we win this, we can, because we always drop points. And as I said earlier, it's been a very up and down season, Melvin. But when you're playing a relegated team, in Sheffield United, lost 26 Premier League games, if you're not going to be winning games like this, then we probably don't even deserve to be in any European competition next season, do we?
No. Listen, we drew with them last season. They're a good team, and they're capable of these upsets. But I think last season they played a system which the Premier League weren't used to, and they stuck to their guns, and they tried to play the same system which teams got used to, and it didn't go for them this year. Sheffield United are a brilliant team to watch. They're a great team to have in the Premier League, but this season is just, Chris Wilder is a great manager. But this season it just didn't happen for them, and that's how football works, strangely enough. And we should have enough quality today to beat them. They don't have the pressure of the relegation, but they're probably playing for their fans and playing for their pride, which this probably, I'll hate to say it, but this probably has a 1-1 draw written all over it, being Spurs. But hopefully we can just score that first goal and the second goal, and Kane will probably be fighting for goals and assists to keep him up at the top of the table. The team probably knows it. Kane knows it. Kane will probably not be playing for the goals, but he'll want the team to win. But it'll be in the back of his mind that there's the golden boot on the race. He can get a couple of goals today, 2 or 3. If he can get a hat trick today, he'll see this fixture and he'll know they're struggling, and he'll be saying, "Oh, I need to get 1 or 2 today. Definitely 1 or 2."
Another personal award, exactly, Melvin. He wants the big prizes. He wants the team prizes. But Gary, thanks so much for your comment on screen. Now going for 3-0, fully confident. Glad to see Bale, Son, Kane, and Ali as well. I completely agree with you. I absolutely love to see all 4 of these in the Tottenham Hotspur starting 11. And I agree with you. I think Tottenham will win 3-0 today. I'm just going to go through the team lineup again. Hugo Lloris in goal, and then we've got Serge Aurier at right back, Sergio Reguilon at left back, in the centre, Toby Alderweireld and Eric Dyer, and then we've got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Giovanni Lo Celso, Dele Alli, Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, and Gareth Bale. A fantastic starting lineup, I think. Melvin, where do you think Tottenham will finish at the end of this season? 5 games to go, including this one.
I think we'll finish above West Ham and finish 5th. I don't think we'll finish top 4 this season. I did the math in my head, and I've been looking at the Chelsea fixtures, and it's like, it'll be a miracle. Chelsea need to drop so many points, and we have to be perfect until the end of the season to even be within a shout. We still have to go to Leicester away, and there's some tricky fixtures in there, and every single Premier League game is a tricky fixture for us, especially. But yeah, it's going to be difficult. My personal goal, I just want to finish above West Ham. I wouldn't want to give them the satisfaction of having the best season of their lives and still finish above, and still finish underneath us. I would love to finish above them still. And even though they're a good side, West Ham, they have some good players, and the January transfer window, getting Jesse Lingard, a player that we laughed at when we thought he was coming to us, but credit to them, and that's my personal goal. I would love to finish in the top 4. I just don't see it. The points it's going to take. We get 1.6 average points per game, and we need 3 points per game until the end of the season. That's too much of a gap to turn over. And if Chelsea continue, their points per game, they're they're well, in the line of finishing top 4.
It's great to see Dele Alli and Gareth Bale back in the starting 11, though, Melvin, isn't it? And playing, these front 4, if you like. You're almost guaranteed goals, with these 4 in the team. Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, Gareth Bale, Dele Alli. It's what the fans want to see. Ryan Mason, of course, knows what the fans want. It was a very, very disappointing weekend. You come straight on the live chat straight after that cup final defeat last weekend. It was a very, very difficult hour or so of us talking about it. But it is now, 5 cup finals, as Ryan Mason said in his press conference. It is all about now finishing the season strongly and getting 5 wins under our belt. But there's no Tanguy Ndombele, no Lucas Moura in this starting 11. Do you read anything into that?
No, I'm happy with the back line not changing. There's some consistency there building from Ryan Mason. The same back line, the same back 4. Toby's probably still our best defender, and Eric Dyer together. He's not changed that back line since he's took over as manager. And the only thing I can say that worries me a little bit, the midfield 5, only Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is the one that's defensive minded. The rest all want to go forward, all want to attack. Hopefully Gio and Pierre can do a job today in the middle and not and protect our back line, protect the back 4, and because it'll be a shame if we go 1-0 early and the nerves start to kick in. And as long as we can not concede, there's enough talent in that lineup that can get a couple of goals. But the key thing is not to concede, especially early. And it's they need to protect the back 4 and control the game properly and keep possession well. But I think with Dele, Gio, and Pierre, in the middle, pulling the strings, and Kane dropping deep, I think that's good enough for today.
I'm just going to read out the subs, Melvin, as well. Joe Hart, Matt Doherty, Davinson Sanchez, Harry Winks, Eric Lamela, Musa Sissoko, Stephen Bergwijn, Lucas Moura, and Tanguy Ndombele. Now, Gary Pearce writes a question here. Who are we getting as manager, Chris? We spoke about this at length on yesterday's Spurs chat video. We went through so many names. Melvin, does anyone interest you? Anyone excite you at the moment? Who we're being linked with?
I try, honestly, I try not to think about it. I try not to think about the next manager coming in, because I feel that we're going to go through the same thing we went through with Jose Mourinho when he came in. Levy's going to tell him, listen, you've got these players, you have to do with these guys. And the next manager is gonna find out for himself that there's some bad characters, some bad players in the team. And we're gonna go through it all over again. And that's what I fear. I fear that the next manager, Levy's gonna tell him, you have these players, you have to work with them. And hopefully it's not the case. Hopefully we get a new manager and a couple new players, and we ship some players off that we don't need in the club. And I've grown to hate some of these players. Honestly, some of these players are starting to really, really bother me. I'll give you a hint, none of them are in the starting lineup. I think the starting lineup is strong enough and good enough that any manager would be happy with. It's the bench, and for a whole season with 40, 50 plus games, you need a really, really strong bench and guys to do a job when you put them in. How many times this season that we sub players on and they let us down time after time. So I don't want to think about the next manager. It's painful to think about it. I'd love to see. My brother keeps telling me he'd like to see someone connected with the club that used to play for us. For example, Scott Parker or Jurgen Klinsmann or something like that. Yeah.
I know what you mean. I think it's going to be a very, very difficult decision. Very, very difficult. That's why I was never a Jose out. I know Jose, grated on a lot of fans, and a lot of fans wanted him out. I wasn't one of those who said I wanted Jose in or out, because I just don't know what is next. When you've had a manager like Pochettino, then you go to a serial winning manager like Jose Mourinho, and it hasn't worked out for either one of those managers. Where do you go next? All of these managers at the moment, no disrespect to any of them, none of them are exciting me personally. you know, to come in and do a job. And as you said, Melvin, if they're not going to be backed, it's all about the backing. It's all about what control that they have as well. There's so many things to it. So it's going to be a very, very interesting move. There's another comment here from Roy. I'm leaning towards the Wolves guy, Nuno Espirito Santo. Could be a very good fit for us. Melvin, your thoughts on Nuno?
Any manager that sits in that seat, I would back the manager. You know, even if they bring back Harry Redknapp, you know, I would back him. They could bring any manager. You know, the only probably manager I would never back if somehow we end up with Sol Campbell. Anyone else, I would back. You know, because there was a joke the other day on Twitter that Sol Campbell was going to get the job, and pretty much anyone else, you know, I would back him and have my full support. So I don't really care who's in that seat, you know, as long as they do, you know, 100%. And I was the same. I didn't want Jose to get sacked, even though I was relieved because I was getting so tired of his antics and his managerial style. It just, I think he now trusts a certain amount of players, and he knew which players he didn't want in the club anymore. And we have to go through this again with a whole new manager. You know, these players are going to be giving a whole new slate, you know, a clean paper. These guys are going to start over again, but the problems that lies within the club are still there. So I don't think it was going to take us forward. I think it was going to take us backwards. I think another transfer window under Jose, I would have kept the money it took to sack him, you know, to sign decent players, to increase the transfer budget. And whoever he didn't want in the club, I think, you know, Dele Alli, Harry Winks, just because Daniel Levy likes them, we like them too. You know, Harry Winks is one of our own, and Dele Alli is a great player, and which I still like and wish that he performed the way we think he can. But if Jose didn't want the club, didn't want them at the club, we have to back him. You have to do what he wants. That's why we employed him. That's why we paid him 15 million a year, you know, to make these decisions and make these calls, because they were going to benefit the club in the long run.
Melvin, just going to read the team out. A number of other people have joined us, so thanks very much for watching. The team lineup today against Sheffield United is as follows: Hugo Lloris in goal, Serge Aurier at right back, Sergio Reguilon at left back, Toby Alderweireld and Eric Dyer in the centre. Then we've got Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Giovanni Lo Celso, Dele Alli, Gareth Bale, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. Subs today: Joe Hart, Matt Doherty, Davinson Sanchez, Harry Winks, Eric Lamela, Moussa Sissoko, Stephen Bergwijn, Lucas Moura, and Tanguy Ndombele. Melvin, I'm going to go for a 3-0 Tottenham Hotspur win today. I think that we have to do it. We have to score a couple of goals, certainly with this lineup as well. What are you going for?
Yeah, I think it would be a similar scoreline. It could look like it'd be a high scoring game. I would love to keep a clean sheet. I don't know if we're capable of keeping a clean sheet, but it's an attacking lineup, you know, with all those guys. Hopefully I'd like to see Bale link up well with Dele and Gio and all of them. It's such an attacking lineup, you know. It only speaks goals, you know. I'd like to see Dele score, obviously, you know, Kane for the Golden Boot. I'll say 2-0, but hopefully they don't let us down, because on paper all season we've looked at the lineup and said, oh, that's strong, that's going to be a good game, and it just screams goals and possession and all of that, and they go on the pitch and let us down. But hopefully it's not one of those games today, but, you know, fingers crossed.
I know it's Barry said 2-2, David saying 1-1 here. You know, I'm just hoping for 3 points. I don't care what the score is, as long as we get 3 points today. So Tottenham go up to 5th in the Premier League. Melvin, enjoy the game. Thanks so much for joining me. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. And thanks to everybody who submitted questions as well. I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy the game tonight, and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.